the social workers started to tell my wife that if she carried on supporting me, that they would put James and Christine on the child protection list. And I mean, we just lost a 9-month-old baby, and there she is being told something that she thinks means she's going to get the other two taken away as well. All designed to turn her against me, make her believe that I'd done it. They'd given me this offer that they would drop the murder charge, drop the 2 attempted murder charges, replace them all with 1 charge of culpable homicide with a recommended 6-year sentence. And I said you can offer me 3 penalty points on my driving licence if you want. I'm not admitting to something I haven't done. Because I got a not proven verdict, which is an acquittal, how it is seen legally is that justice worked. They subject you to things that you would see on the TV, more in line with trying to crack a spy. Like, everything they do is designed to break you down, and they took me into a cell, and I had to strip completely naked. I still don't understand why. And after I was naked, they sort of conveniently remembered that wasn't the cell that the camera was turned off on, so it was all being filmed. And it's things like that you realise looking back on it. It didn't really matter at the time, but it's degrading, it's humiliating. It's all very, very aggressive with these breaks in between, the relentless breaks. It was all stopping and starting. They take you out the back of the police station and let you have a cigarette, and then they were being all friendly and nice then. It was all sort of, you do realise we're just doing our job, we have to do this. If you could think of anything else that would help us, then we can maybe, get through this quicker. But I'd already told them everything I knew. It wasn't a case that I wouldn't tell them anything. I couldn't tell them anything else. I didn't know anything else. So, and then you go back in, and from that all nicey friendly thing, the moment you're sat down, still wearing your suicide shorts and t-shirt and thing that they've put on. And always the first question was, why did you kill Annalise? And I just, I kept saying, I don't know what you're talking about. None of this makes sense. Why are you doing this to us? Because we've been through enough. And they were saying they had this clever man, very, very clever man, and that he was saying that the fire was deliberate, and that I was the one that did it. And eventually I said, well, right, I've had enough of this. I want a solicitor now. And the answer I got back was, nah, this is Scotland. We don't have to give you a solicitor, not for 6 hours. You're not getting one. And they carried on for the full 6 hours, and then left it at that. I was taken and I was put in prison. I was humiliated there. They'd been telling the prison that I was likely to try and kill myself, even though every time they'd asked me, I'd said, look, I've got no interest in doing anything stupid. All I want to do is get this sorted out. I want, I'm going to prove my innocence, and I'm not going to do that by doing anything stupid. But they still put me in the suicide cell. It's just this alien environment. You can't possibly understand what it's like until you've been thrown into it, and then you have to adapt very quickly, because then you start to realise pretty quickly that if you show any weakness at all, you'll be victimised in there. There's no question about it. And but you know, if you were to overcompensate and go the other way and try and be all sort of hard, then you get caught up in this ridiculous struggle up at the other side of things. So you end up having to just try and balance it and try and find this middle ground so that you're not getting involved in any of the rubbish that goes on in there. There's regimes and the mind games that gets played with you, and you've got no privacy. You're trying to sort of tell your family what's going on. You didn't have any money. I'd only been in prison for a few days when my dad had a heart attack. They say that stress doesn't have anything to do with starting a heart attack, but there's nobody that'll convince me that didn't play its part. Before it happens to you, you think, well, you get legal aid if you've not got money, but it's not as easy as that. It's all restricted. After I'd been arrested, she'd started to open up a bit about the fire, and she'd started speaking to her mum about it. And everything that she'd started to say was, again, like James, it was exactly corroborating everything that I'd told him right from day one. Instead of that being the end of it, the Procurator Fiscal went and spent hours bringing her back to the truth, is how he called it. It'd taken a long time, but I've brought her back to the truth. I'm working on miscarriages of justice all the time now, just voluntarily. I get up in the morning and I start and I finish when I go to bed, seven days a week. There's never a day when I feel like I've done enough. It's very easy to wrongly accuse anybody of anything, but it's very, very difficult to prove innocence. I've had a lot of difficulties to come to terms with, things to move past. I just don't trust anybody anymore. As long as I believe somebody's innocent, I won't give up. Because I know what it's like to be in that cell and know that you haven't done it.